What's up, my YouTube family? This is Vineet Pandey, and today we are going to talk about your preparation for UGC Net English coming exams March and June. My friends, you have a question. So, how do we start your preparations? First thing, remember there are two types of students. The first, students who actually have already prepared for net. If you have already prepared for net, you already have worked hard, you have given 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, you have taken classes, then you have to work upon certain things which were not taught to you. So I will talk about those students in the last minutes of the video. First, I'm going to talk about the students who are going to prepare a fresh start from zero level. My dear friends, as the time is limited, this is the most important factor that you have to keep it in your mind. Time is limited. We do not have 6 months where we will be finishing the syllabus in 4.5 months and then we'll study. You have limited time. So in your limited time, you will have to start from zero. Now here you have to understand that UGC Net has given us a syllabus divided in 10 different units, 10 different chapters, technically which shows that they will have 8 to 10 questions from those units. Now here you have to understand, there are certain units which are actually not studied by you. In your post-graduation, nobody taught you about linguistic, English in India, the use of language and the research English pedagogy. Nobody has taught you. In case if somebody has taught you, maybe you are from a top university, that's a good thing. But then, in most of the universities, nobody teaches you non-fiction. Moreover, when you study the known syllabus, the known topics, there are the big blunders mostly people do. So I'm going to talk about these things, but I want to make it clear once again that this is a strategy for those who are going to attempt the exam in the month of March. Means you have technically 50 to 55 days. So this is a special strategy for 50 to 55 days only. Now, you have to finish British history. You will say, sir, yes, ये तो हमें पता है, it's a very known thing. What's new in this? Leave Anglo sections. You can also leave Age of Chaucer. This is my suggestion. Start with the Renaissance, because overall in English literature, Renaissance is taken as the first age of English literature. We have an exception. If you don't want to leave Anglo sections and Age of Chaucer, then at least read Chaucer, Canterbury Tales and nothing else, and then switch to Elizabethans. Second thing, when you go for Elizabethans, do not waste your time in Shakespeare. Shakespeare is really big. Instead, go for some bullet points, read some basic things related to it. Do not go for reading unnecessary summaries. Here, well, you have to do one more thing. In Elizabethans, there are many great writers like University Wits. Then we have separately Ben Jonson, John Donne, Francis Bacon. There are some other writers also, Edmund Spenser, Philip Sidney. Go for a brief reading. Do not go in the depth of these books, because British history, it is quite known to people. So sometimes people have an idea. There are market guidebooks, they can help you. There are coaching classes, they can help you. So avoid spending a lot of time on conventional literature. Everybody reads that. Everybody prepares that. How I provide JRF, how I make sure that my student get a JRF. I prepare my students for unconventional literature, which is a different topic mostly people don't study. For example, when you will study Indian English literature, what will you study? How many of you know that Indo-Anglican literature, Anglo-Indian literature, Indian diaspora? If you remember this, Indian diaspora, Indian Dalit literature writings, Indian Dalit feminism, and then comes Indian post-colonial writers. What if somebody questions you that name the 5 Indian post-colonial writers? Most of the students, they will say, sir, V.S. Naipaul, Salman Rushdie. My dear friends, both of them are not Indian writers. You will say, arey sir, they have an Indian name. Salman Rushdie was born in India. Being born in India doesn't matter. The citizenship matters. And moreover, V.S. Naipaul lives and born in Trinidad, right? So don't make a mistake. Then comes the question that how many of you are prepared with Indian modern theatre, Indian writers in translation, and along with these things, Indian literary writings in English. Indian literary writings. Here you have to study O.P. Vizian, Perumal Murugan, Sanjeev Sahota, Akhil Sharma, Nadifa Muhammad, these kind of writers who have written about India in English. Technically, in Indian literature, you have to read a lot. Mostly people make a mistake. Last net exam, there were writers from Indian literary criticism. How many of you know that there is a theory called Vakrokti Siddhant? Vakrokti Siddhant is very much connected to logocentrism. How many of you know there is called Dhvanya Loka theory, Dhvani theory, which is connected to phonocentrism? Bhartrihari's Phota theory, which is also connected to J.L. Austin's Speech Act theory. These are the concepts which have been studied. There is a concept of, when you talk about different dhvanis and different meanings, which is also known as the ding dong theory. So focus on unknown topics. Go for Mahesh Dattani, Vijay Tendulkar, Girish Karnad. Prepare these things, and also go for the writers like Rohini Hatangiri. Go for Nadira Babbar, wife of Raj Babbar. Read these writers. They are the unconventional literature. When you go for the other world countries, make sure that you know the literary devices of those countries. Do you know Japanese poetry haiku, Japanese writing style haikai no renga, kabuki drama style, no drama style? These have been asked in exam. I'm sure आपको किसी ने नहीं पढ़ाया होगा. Nobody must have taught you these things. I teach all these things. We teach Japanese literature in online classes, in offline classes. Russian literature. Do you know there is called Pushkin stanza, Pushkin sonnet? The Pushkin stanza, Pushkin sonnet was used by Vikram Seth in his one of the famous work in Equal Music. My dear friends, remember this, that even in world literature, you don't have to read some basic things. Read the detail. There was a question in NET exam. There were 2 questions. Check it on Google. 2 questions in NET exam. What is superfluous man concept hero? Do you know there is a difference between Byronic hero and superficial hero? You will be like, sir, superfluous hero? Where do we get this literature? This is Russian literature. The same kind of things have been asked. What is French existentialism? They will simply ask you in assertion and reason, what do you mean by language politics? So when you study, avoid reading the conventional literature. जब 2.5 महीने रह जाए, when you have 2.5 months left, go for something which is quite untouched, unexplored, and a kind of area where most of the students don't go. To defeat your competition, just be sure that you are damn good in literary theory. But what? Not new criticism and deconstruction only. How many of you know about phenomenological reduction, hermeneutics concept? How many of you know about the thick description location theory? In short, go in the depth of these things. Be prepared with thing theory, object theory, culture studies reference, stranger king theory, Sphota Siddhant, once again culture theory, culture studies, and along with these things, ethnic nepotism, kin selection, Anglophilia. In short, my dear friends, 55 days, cream level study, exclusive study. And second thing, timetable set karo. Set your timetable. Make sure you are studying at least 7 to 8 hours. I'm not asking 10 hours, 7 to 8 hours. Where in 7 to 8 hours, 3 hours for conventional literature. Conventional literature is British, Indian, American. Because even in American, the postmodern American literature is asked, and there are writers who have developed the postmodern movement in American literature. Philip Roth is being questioned. Marilyn Robinson is being questioned. People even don't know about it. This is one of the biggest issue that UGC NET English students and even their teachers, they have no idea about it. Think if anybody has taught you Japanese literature. Think if anybody has taught you all these Russian. You know what is the difference between Russian realism and British realism? There are certain things. To qualify, read like a champion, prepare like a champion. Do not go for basic concept. Everybody will read basic concepts. If you are also reading basic concept, you are the part of the crowd. See, you have done graduation, you have done post-graduation, so there are chances that you will get some known questions in British history. But there is a confirmed chance that if you missed culture study, English in India, language, research, non-fiction. I saw a list, somebody was saying that this is the non-fiction. No, not every non-fiction is the part of NET, my dear friends. If you are thinking just, okay, this is a non-fiction, so this is important for NET, there are millions of copies of non-fiction books. You have to read non-fiction which is related to literature. There was a question in NET exam, is there an Indian way of thinking? It's a question. Nassim Ezekiel's, there is a very famous work, Naipaul's India and Mine. These kind of non-fiction works will be asked. Not like any bestseller, kahin se bhi utha ke dal do. I saw that list, I was smiling. I was like, who is guiding you? The person who was guiding was just a NET qualified person. Qualifying NET and JRF is not a criteria. You must understand the in-depth study. You know, in papers, when we check the previous year's papers, we also go and get contacted with DU and JNU professors. I have taught in University of Delhi for 3 years. I am in regular touch. Few days back, I was the chief guest in Hansraj College poetry recitation competition. Hansraj College, Shah Rukh Khan jahan se padha hai. I was one of the guests there, a special guest, not chief guest. Chief guest was a politician, I was the special guest. So I was there in Hansraj College. We are in contact with teachers and professors. Make sure what you read is sharp, clear, and actually related to exam. Now, as we are going to talk about the teachers who are already attempting NET exam, who are already prepared, as I told you in last minutes, I will be talking about you. Guys, if you already have prepared, focus on your mistakes. This time go for Indian literary criticism. Make sure you read that. I will teach you. Indian translation writers, I will be teaching you. Do you know there is a famous writer, Perumal Murugan? It's very important. I will be teaching you graphic novels in India. I will be teaching you all the drills of English language studies. I will be teaching you different theories on Indian English literature, and along with this, I will also talk about English in India and the theories. We'll be going for Ogden to Ray Richards to the writers who wrote from India. We are going to talk about Sanjeev Sahota. We are going to talk about Dipesh Chakravarti. We are going to talk about the latest writers who have talked about subalterns like Gayatri Chakravarti Spivak and others. I'll also prepare you with eco-criticism, Sujata Bhatt, Vandana Shiva. In short, whatever people have not even heard about, you will be studying and qualifying this exam. Now, as I'm going to end this video, all the students who are watching this and you want to have a kind of guide with you, teaching is an art. I have recorded those lectures, I have everything. But do you also need a guide? Every step somebody says, no, this is wrong, don't read. Read this. If you want a complete mentorship for this particular exam, March and June, we are commencing a batch from 1st of January. You have to join the 1st of January batch. This will be completing the syllabus before March, and once we are done with March exam, we will be teaching you till June. In one fees, in one attempt, we'll be teaching you 2 times syllabus. We'll complete the syllabus before March. We will revise that syllabus with extra details, previous year paper questions, March paper questions, and we'll take you for June. In short, in an easy language, easy way, you have to be the part of the January batch, and I will make sure that either in March or in confirmation or in June, you qualify. I will finish your syllabus in depth. We will not compromise anything. We will be providing you exclusive lectures dealing with those important things. And the best thing is, you will be studying things which people even not have heard about it. आप वो पढ़ोगे जो लोगों ने सुना नहीं है. And I hope you understand how I got double JRF. I've taught in University of Delhi for 3 years. I'll bring all my experience and I'll put it in your classes. Let's do it together. This is the golden opportunity. 1st January, it should be your resolution that 2023, you will no more be unemployed. You will no more be just post-graduation. You will be a JRF. You have to promise it to yourself. If you have guts, then be the part of the batch, because I am the one who was struggling to live life. I am the one who is living this lavish life, and not alone. I've brought my staff members here. It's a party for all. Why? Because when you work hard, you deserve to live like this. अपने दम पे जिंदगी जीनी है, रॉयल जिंदगी का सपना देखा है, तो ये अगला साल 2023 आपका है. This is your year 2023. See you in the batch. Thank you so much.